There's a member of this community who is called to share what it means for him to be part of this community and how that is taking him on a specific path. So now I invite Ed Modestino to come up and share with us his reflection on what it means to be part of Unity Church.
Good morning. My wife and I joined this church officially on May 20th, 2018, as we wanted a sense of community when we purchased a home and moved to Easton. I was raised in a Unitarian Universalist church one town over, while my family practiced private philosophy of Buddhism at home. As many of you know, I'm a neuroscientist and professor. However, I'm back in graduate school once again. I'm training to become a mental health counselor at UMass Boston. An integral part of that master's program is social justice. In order to be a proficient counselor to those of all ethnicities and cultural backgrounds, one needs to be aware of one's own underlying biases and have a background immersed in diversity and social justice. One of my courses is Sociocultural Considerations in Counseling. For this course, I need to complete a social justice project. I decided that since the Black Lives Matter initiative here at our church has not progressed, it might be something that I could take over with the input of the African American members of our congregation. I'm in the process of interviewing them and asking for their help with this, specifically about how we can make a difference in the broader community. As a Caucasian male, I come from the ultimate privilege in this society. In fact, most people in my position are oblivious that racism, prejudice, and unconscious biases and stereotypes are well ingrained into our consciousness. Many people assume, as laws have been in place since the civil rights movement, that this is no longer an issue. Being a member of the Unitarian Universalist Church with values of all-inclusivity is very important to me. However, according to counseling psychologist Daryl Wing Su and his colleagues, there's a process that Caucasians in our society need to go through to become aware of our white identity within the context of our society. This includes what it means to be white, understanding white privilege, and becoming aware of the monocultural environment in which we are focused, yet assume we are unbiased. This is a developmental process that has a series of stages put forth by Rita Hardiman, and the first is naivete. It's where we lack a social consciousness and are unaware of racism. The second stage is acceptance, and it's where we make a conscious decision to focus on democratic ideals and think that everyone has equal opportunity to succeed in this free society, despite evidence to the contrary. We assume that if people fail, it's due to their lack of initiative and ignore any possibility that prejudice might be involved. The third stage is the resistance stage, and this is where we learn to challenge the assumptions of white superiority that we've accepted without even knowing it. The fourth stage is the redefinition, where we confront our biases and prejudices. And the fifth and final stage is the internalization stage, where we form a new social and personal identity that is a non-racist identity. So the reason I'm telling you all of this is that many of us tend to be at the first stage. We're living in a complacent state where we think that racism and prejudice is a thing of the past. Furthermore, we assume that we do not have any underlying biases or stereotypes in relation to prejudice. We assume we are not racist. However, unless this process is somehow lived through and completed, many of us will remain in the first stage, unaware that racism is not just around us, but also within us. So currently I'm going through the process myself to make myself a better Unitarian Universalist, a better citizen, a better friend and colleague, and perhaps a better mental health counselor. So to this end, I wish to take over the Black Lives Matter initiative, and I need your input about how we can make a difference.